Today I'm going to take you through a simple but yet effective bicep and tricep workout to improve body composition. I'm going to run through the small little tips and tricks that are going to help you get the most out of your workout, and also a lot of common mistakes I see people make. So I'm going to warm up about 4 or 5 reps of about 75% of what I'm going to work with about a 4-second eccentric tempo. Now I'm doing a close grip bench press. The best way to find out how close your hands are going to be for a close grip bench press is shoulder width. So if I put my arms straight up in front of the bar above my shoulders, that's my distance I'm going to grip the bar with for a tricep bench press. So as I take it out, I'm still going to do 4 seconds down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and push up. Still elbows out to the side to also assist in that lateral head with the tricep. Straight over to a bicep. So the next one we have is dumbbell squat curls. So the key to have when you have your elbows on the bench, which is to make sure your shoulder blades are back. If I have my shoulders rounded and I do squat curls like I see a lot of people do, coming down, you don't feel as much of a stretch in the biceps, you're not getting much range of motion. That way I might as well be standing up. The correct way to do a squat curl is elbows up high, shoulders are level. That way we're getting more of a stretch of the biceps and taking that bicep through its full range of motion in a squat curl. Best way to finish, I find, finish on the eccentric rep. You're getting that extra sort of benefit from the bicep curl, and you can stand up and put them down. The next exercise is going to be a tricep press down. We are going to be doing a series of drop sets today, but I'm just going to warm up with the movement first, with that same tempo of a 3 seconds eccentric, all the way up. Now the key with tricep press downs is to take that tricep to the full range of motion. So as I take my fists as far to my chest as I can, almost like I'm contracting my biceps, that's taking my triceps to their full range of motion. Actually allows me to put on more muscle on all 3 heads of the triceps by taking the muscle through its full range. So I'm always having that goal to come up, almost flex my biceps to take that's the antagonist muscle to the triceps to make sure you're getting the maximal stretch in those triceps. Okay, next one will be cable curls. I'm using 2 different cables to move fast. Once I hit my 2 heavy exercises, which I'll show you when we start, I only want about 10 seconds break. So it's going to help to have most of the stations already set up. And same thing with the bicep curls, same analogy with the triceps. You want to take the biceps through the full range of motion. So if I contract my triceps, now my bicep is at full stretch. That's where I want to hit every time. With good posture, my shoulder blades are back. Curl those biceps. Finish with a 3-second eccentric. At the bottom, contract the triceps, my biceps are at full stretch, and contract. 5 of those with a 3-second eccentric. The next exercise is going to be a medium cable shoulder external rotation. So what I mean by medium is the cable is about hip height. Just because there's so many different ways we can work the shoulder external rotators, is that I just want to play around with it. Each program, I want to change the angles or change the body position. So today what I've got with that medium, my shoulder blade is back, it's almost like it's driving to an imaginary finger behind me. My fist is pointing where that cable is coming from, so the trajectory of the cable is actually a little bit more on a high angle, just to hit different parts of that external rotators. We can have our normal cable rotators where it's just that high. So today I've chosen the mid-cable pulley, which means as the shoulder blades are back, I'm following on that angle. This will be a 4-second eccentric all the way down. So you want to take it as far as you can. Even if there's no resistance there, you want to take these muscles through their full range, just like any sort of exercise. And again, full range of external rotation without turning the body, just keeping everything square. Again, looking for that angle. And warm up on the other side as well. The last exercise on the circuit is going to be a single arm dumbbell shrug. Now, a couple of reasons for doing this. Yes, it is a trap building exercise. It's single arm, is to put on muscle on the traps. But a few things. It gives the illusion of bigger shoulders by having the huge traps, also from the back getting that V-taper. But what you're looking at and what you find in common people, especially females, is if you look at the angle of their collarbones. So most females' collarbones, if you look at their clavicle portion of their chest, their collarbones are dead straight. That's because of their rounded posture, so they have those slightly internally rotated shoulders, and those collarbones are actually straight. What we find, if you can develop the traps, it puts those collarbones in a 15-degree angle if you build up the muscle. Now the reason I'm just doing that and explaining the 15-degree angle, because that is actually the normal range for a clavicle to give you healthy shoulders. So just for mine, through many years of heavy training, is my clavicles are 5 degrees elevated. I want to build them up to 15. So I've chosen the single arm dumbbell shrug, again, for that shoulder health to improve that posture in that clavicle region, but also you're going to give the illusion of bigger shoulders and a wider back. So we're going to do a couple here, and I'll show you how this circuit works. So I've just done one round of about 75% of the weight I'm going to be working with for the reps that I'm going to do. I'll explain the reps right now. So the first two exercises, the A1, the A2, which is the close grip bench press and the dumbbell Scott curl, we're going 4 sets in a circuit format. The first set you're going to do 3 reps. The second set, 2 reps. The third and fourth is 1 rep each, close to your 1 rep maximum. Okay, so the first set at 3 reps, I'm going 115 kilos for 3, at a 4-second eccentric. Look for about a 10-second break between the A1 and A2s. 3 reps, 20 kilo dumbbell Scott curl. Make sure you finish on that eccentric. So now we have about a minute break. So I'm going to set my stopwatch for 60 seconds. While we're waiting for that 60 seconds, we're going to set up our triceps and our biceps. So I'm going to set up the tricep press downs here. And the weight I'm going to do is just a whole stack plus a couple of kilos. So we've got 30 seconds left. So remember, the key is to fatigue at 4. You're going to take about a 10-second break, another 4, 10-second break, another 4, going lighter each time. 5 seconds and that'll be our minute. So take it down, again looking for that technique of close, core is tight, shoulders are back and extend. 4 seconds up. Break. I'm just going to get lighter. 1, 5 kilos, another 4. I like to pause at the top to make sure we're not using any momentum. Doing that contraction of the biceps, we know is all triceps working. Has about a 10-second break in between. 4, 4, 4 here. Carefully pick it up. Shoulders back. Remember doing that tricep contraction after every rep. dumbbell shrugs. I'm looking for about 12 reps here. So you're trying to keep your shoulders and hips square. I like to put my hand on my hip or on my stomach to make sure I'm not counterbalancing here. Shrug that shoulder to the ear, come down. Carefully, same thing I'll do any sort of exercise. Is try not to use momentum. Try really to isolate that trap. Just retain here. Hands. I've chosen a 35 kilo dumbbell. Again, make sure. The reason I do this hand here, my nose and belly button, if I know that's aligned, I'm not dropping over. Shoulder stone rotations last. So I'll demonstrate the rep range you should be doing for your first week. Like I said, this is my 4th workout in this program, so my rep ranges are about 9 to 11 reps. I'm going to try and keep that elbow tracking close. So I've got 2 more to do at least. Another cheating mechanism in the body we use is this wrist. It will extend to help you get further. If you can keep that wrist flat, you know, only working shoulder. If I extend that wrist and bend it, I can get a little bit further and cheat. Trying to neutralize that wrist as far as I can go. I'm gonna hit 1 more. And that's a 9. To the other side. So with this arm workout, it's a 60-second rest period. We do it all again. We have 4 rounds, and we've got a 60-second break. While I have my 60 seconds in between, I will sip my intra-workout drink. Now this is made up of EAA's essential amino acids and the branched chain amino acids. Now I'll explain when I'm changing the weights here. So with amino acids for intra-workout, there's a lot of misconception on if BCAAs are good, if they actually have any benefit. A lot of people don't understand that they're always doing their job. Because BCAAs are supposed to stop the breakdown of muscle, so you actually don't lose muscle while you're training. EAAs help you have an anabolic effect. So you got 1, the BCAAs preventing you from catabolic, and the EAAs making you anabolic. So I've actually got 40 grams of EAAs and 30 grams of BCAAs in my 1 drink. So yes, it's a very high dosage, but just through research and also what I've found in clinical experience is I put a lot of muscle on myself and other clients at these high dosages. So it's nearly a minute, so I'm going to set up my other one. Okay, so now this one is 2 reps. I'm going to do 2 on 120 kilos. I should still be okay with this weight on my own. Okay, so second set. So I'm going to use the same weight for 2, only because I plan on doing my 22 kilo ones for 1. Kind of a big jump for the biceps to do 2 reps on a 2 kilo jump. looks like a bit of fatigue setting there anyway, so I don't think I'm going 2s for 2. There's a 60-second rest period. So while we're taking those 60 seconds, set up our triceps. So the reason for the short rest periods, a lot of people think it's heart rate to keep that fat burn going. And yes, it is a little bit of that, but it's more so, if you take long rest periods when you're doing heavy weights, any sort of excess growth hormone you're going to produce is going to get converted to estrogen. And that's only if you have a higher body fat percentage than what you'd like to be. So that's more the misconception around let's keep the heart rate high. It's more about we don't want growth hormone to convert to estrogen. So we've got about another 20 seconds here. Again, doing our 4-4-4 drop set. Triceps at first. And a 10-second break in between. You notice I'm not standing too far away. That's because of the trajectory of the cable. I'm going straight up and down so I can work on that 4-range of motion of the triceps. We don't want to be standing back here because now there's more lats in the abs to try and get this position really straight up and down underneath your cable system. Again, just double checking we're taking that tricep to its full range of motion. We're contracting those biceps. 10-second break before our biceps. Start the shoulders back, contract those triceps, so just know where you're going to start and finish from every time. 4 reps. As with anything, you want to start with your weaker side first, because if that side can only get 8 reps, you want to even it out and do 8 on the other side. Otherwise you're going to end up with one side severely stronger than the other. That's 10 reps. Okay, so about 9 to 11 reps for this week. Start off with 10 to 12 on the first week. Keep trying that 4 seconds eccentric. Not only great for putting on muscle on the shoulders, but really challenging that strength for those external rotators. Let's So into the next 60-second break. That's where you can take time to rest, sip your drink. Obviously adjust the weight. I could probably use this time more effectively to do this, as well as my tricep one set up. But I'm going 125 now. It's not a personal best, but I'm going to set up some catchments just in case I don't get it. That I have something to catch the weight if I can't get it up. Set up my tricep one as well. Okay, so last round, run to our singles now. So I'm going to do a single here and a single on the Scott curl. Everything else is still the same rep range. I'm on to my 22s now. I can really feel fatigue setting in. This is a good time for these singles. I'm going to need everything I got to get this one rep. Finish on the downside, because you're always 3 times stronger on that eccentric. So like I said, there's a 60-second break between the A1 and A2. Which is kind of good, you kind of need it by this 3rd or 4th round. And of course, it gives me time to sip my drink. That's going to help push the endurance of the muscle as well. So it prolongs the growth hormone in the system. So the key is when to take that, is you actually want to trigger some growth hormone first before you start sipping your drink. So you do want the body to go through a little bit of stress. So I did 2 warm-up rounds, one before I filmed this. And this is my 2nd round, but I started sipping in the 1st one. So enough stress response for the body to start producing its own growth hormone. And then the BCAAs is going to help the stopping of the breakdown of the muscle tissue while you're training and prolong that growth hormone effect. So in saying, it should keep your strength throughout the whole workout quite similar. So in 10-minute break now, up to our triceps, still 4-4-4, focusing on that eccentric, because that's how we're going to get size and strength. Track the biceps. 10-second break. Make up one lighter. And whatever light you need to get that 4 reps, I prefer maximum 10% decrease. See how I make sure I'm not using momentum, I'm not going fast, I'm not driving those shoulders into it. Just that pause at the top with that bicep contraction lengthens those triceps. The only muscle that can work is triceps. smartwatches on your wrist. So I've just got a cheap Casio digital watch to keep my time when I'm in at rest periods. Because you got to think about all the Bluetooth and all the radiation stuff going through your wrist. You're going to put yourself through some severe strength decrease wearing something that's got radiation and electromagnetic fields through it. So you want to try and get the neurotransmitters in the brain to fire as much muscles as they can, and for help with dopamine production. Anything with an infrared or Bluetooth or radiation device is going to inhibit that. So always no devices when you're training. And I've got my phone next to me, which I should have probably turned off and put away first, which I generally do. I forgot today. But that's generally going to keep all devices away. So there's no looking on Instagram, no looking on anything, because actually the studies have proven that if you look at your Instagram feed and see how many people have liked your post or whatsoever, you're actually getting a dopamine spike, and you're actually using the dopamine in a Instagram feed or a Facebook feed, but you're using that dopamine in your workout. So devices away, focus on your workout. This workout is solely for you to get stronger, for you to be better, forget everything else. So we're going to take another 20 seconds. I'm going to try a personal best for a single. That's 130 kilos, so especially when I'm training on my own, that catchment is going to be helpful. If I don't get it, I just put it back down. So it's interesting to see. You wouldn't think on my last round that I'm going heavier for a single, especially after all the volume work of the triceps that I've done. That's the beauty of this program, how it really does fire that nervous system. You should start to feel more awake and more alert as you go. Definitely with the help of my amino acids that's stopping me from being too exhausted, not be able to hit my personal best right now. So I'm going to sit down and try and have this last crack of 130. Now that's quite a scary moment when you're going for your personal best. But just through experience, I know there's two sticking points in that. There's one at the bottom, there's one at the top. So I got to get speed and I've got to drive through that. Same with this, two sticking points. Engage and drive. So we still got a minute break. Time to sip our water. Reflect after those hopefully 1 RMs you just got. So as you can probably see, it is a metabolic workout. I'm sweating the whole way through, especially from my first set. So that's exactly what I'm going to explain to actually improve your body composition. It can be done by doing bodybuilding style workouts. It's just all about understanding how the body, how the hormones work to be able to build muscle and drop fat. So we got our last round, I've got 4-4-4 here. It's important to try and keep that technique, keep that posture, keep that stretch, and keep the 4-second eccentric. So the last exercise is our external rotation. So for this program, you don't want to compromise intensity for volume on this one. So I'd rather you get the same weight all the way through, do less reps to failure, rather than have to drop the weight down to get those reps, especially for this program. If it doesn't get the rep range, that's fine. You just want to get that failure on high intensity weight. Probably tell on most of these exercises, I've tried to go to failure. It's like they always like to say, if you're not going to failure, you're just exercising. You're not weight training. So that's my bicep and tricep workout to improve body composition. If you like that workout, leave me a comment or press like and I'll do a lot more for you. Let me know what muscle groups, what sort of type of programs you like, and I'll see if I can post that content for you. I hope you like it. I'll see you next time.